Hello Pisces, welcome to Lotus Heart Tarot. I'm very happy to have you here. We are going to dive right into your reading today and just get a look at what is going on. If you're new to my channel, welcome, welcome. I am very happy to have you here. If you are returning a subscriber, someone who regularly comments, likes, shares, I just want to say thank you. I've noticed that YouTube is changing the way that they are putting out videos. So if you want to be sure not to miss any of my videos, you just want to make sure that you are subscribed and that you do have the notification bell at the bottom of the screen tapped. All right. Here we go. These are general readings, so take what resonates and leave the rest. Diving in for Pisces, please, Spirit. What does Pisces need to know? What does Pisces need to know right now? Wow. Okay. Wow. Whoa, intense energy here, Pisces. You are getting the moon, the death card, and the star card. You know, there's a new day dawning. Things are changing. The one thing you know for sure, Pisces, is that things are going to change. And sometimes we can't see it. Sometimes we don't know it. You know, sometimes we even kind of cave into the darkness of it all and give up hope on it. But there is an energy here, Pisces, regardless of where you are on the spectrum of this moon energy. Things are transforming. Things are changing. There was an ending that had to happen for the benefit of a new beginning. With this star card energy, hope springs eternal. I mean, honestly, that's what I'm getting. There, you know, the star card, it is a card of recovery and healing and health and well-being. But it's also a card of wishes fulfilled and fate and destiny, and something that is meant for you cannot pass you by. And you guys, this energy has been coming up for you for a long time. Like, I don't want to say like a long time, but at least a month of, you know, this coming out of a cocoon with your fresh new wings on, ready to fly, and maybe not even realizing that your wings are on and that you are ready to fly. There's certainly here this new day dawning just on the other side of this death. It's like, I'm going to keep going. This is an interesting group of cards that I felt guided to pull today. And this message, it really feels pretty... It feels like one that's been repeating. And it feels like we are at the precipice of this. Wow. Oh my gosh, I gotta tell you guys, this is so crazy, but you know that I love Pisces, and that my very best friend in the whole world is Pisces. My daughter's a Pisces, both my grandfathers were Pisces, and I have another really close friend who's a Pisces whom I just absolutely love. She's one of those people that, like, you're every moment that you spend with her, you're better off for having spent it with her. And she is really going through it today, and it just feels very, she was in a relationship that she really gave it her everything to and thought would last forever, and it's over, and he got married this morning. So I have been sending her meta all day, and I have been asking the universe, or whomever you believe in, to send her signs and synchronicities of hope, of well-being, of everything is exactly as it should be, and it's going to, you know, new things are going to evolve out of this, and there's this new day coming. And I've just been really heavily focused on sending her this energy, and then this reading is tripping me out because that's really what these cards are saying to me. And on the bottom of the deck you have, I asked for a sign, and it says, I'm trying to move on. And I literally was sending her sign. I was asking, I was like, please send her signs of hope. Please send her signs that, you know, sometimes it hurts, but we are really better off for just going through something. And to me, she is just like one of the best people that I know. And she just deserves someone who really can appreciate her, as do we all, right? So it's giving me this feeling of just sort of reminding you all that, for one thing, you know, in life, you know, we do have benevolent spirits and angels, and we are in some way looked after. We are not alone, and sometimes it feels like we're alone. And sometimes it's funny because I didn't know any of that was going on for her. And I literally reached out to her randomly like a week ago and was like, how are you? I miss you so much. And then here, you know, she's going through this. And then I literally asked, please send her signs, you know. I don't know. It's just crazy. We don't think about how sometimes connected it all is, and we all are, and how powerful the bonds of friendship and love and, you know, holding space for people in your heart is. And beyond that, we forget oftentimes that there is so much more to this experience of being human and being alive than what we can see, feel, and touch. You know, we are surrounded by angels. We are surrounded by benevolent spirits. We are surrounded by deceased loved ones and ascended masters. And we can tap in to that love that is all around us, and that knowledge that is all around us, and that limitlessness that we are a part of, you know. And we can, you know, help each other without being able to sit next to each other, and without being able to maybe even look each other in the eye or talk directly to each other. You know, I really do hope that we're creating a space like that here. I hope that you read each other's comments and, you know, derive a sense of companionship of, yeah, we're on this journey together. Yeah, we are the Pisces out there in the collective making our way through somewhat similar things, you know. And that we remember to send each other love, and that we remember to send each other strength, and to know and to feel and to be open to receiving, you know, the love that we do not see, the you know, the connectedness that we can't see, feel, or touch, you know, that is all around us. And then we open up to it, and then we say, you know, I am open to receiving this. So you have morality in you, or I'm sorry, wow, did I ever misread that? I'm going to put my glasses on. Mortality in you, falling right under the death card. And it says, you make mortality look beautiful. I find myself wishing I was someone else only to grow old with you. You're a flash of life in the dead zone of my timeline. And then you have, I'm sorry for the way I behaved at the end of our relationship. I know I hurt you. I wanted to be better. And then you have, I'm hooked. I hope I make you as happy as you make me. Let me down sooner rather than later. And then you have, you are a masterpiece. You were the best things in my life. So I honestly feel like there is someone here, you know, like a past person who you were a really special, important person for. And maybe that's also this energy of, you know, because even as a friend, you know, this person is still and always will, be incredibly special to me, but I don't always reach out. Like, she may not even know that, you know, I mean, I think she does. But she may not know that. And it is important to sort of reach out and tell people, because you don't know what they're going through and you don't know how much it might mean to them. But this right here feels like there is someone here who's acknowledging that, you know, you were a flash of life in the dead zone of their timeline. You know, you were the special in their not so special, in their I'm surviving, in their I'm living, I'm making it. That's about all I can say for this life right here, right now. And I feel like, you know, this person, you know, they may have been a wounded soul. With this red color of this card, it does feel like the energy of a wounding to me. And it can, especially red, can mean root chakra, which may mean that, you know, this is childhood wounding or something that came from their root, their clan, their people. It may even be ancestral DNA. But it's like, I think this person intended to try harder or to do better. I think this person, you know, sometimes we intuitively feel like, oh, wow, you know, rise up to meet this occasion, or make the hard choice here, or, you know, do the hard thing, but then we don't listen to it. And, or, you know, we go with our intention, but we are ill-equipped. We don't really have the tools, or we have the tools, but we don't know how to use them, or we've never used them, or we've never seen a good example of it. And you know, I feel like with this person, there's a bit of an avoidant kind of energy here, where it's like, let me down sooner rather than later at the end of this I'm hooked card, where it's kind of like, it's almost an acknowledgement of like, I know I'm not brave enough to risk the type of vulnerability that's necessary. Like, I really did try here with the I'm sorry. But I realized that it became overwhelming and that I wasn't able to rise to meet the occasion. And so when I realized that, you know, the best thing that I had to offer the situation was to just let you down as fast as I could, you know, before any further damage was done, or it went any deeper than this. And, you know, this may not be anything that you see in the 3D. You know, you may be dealing with someone who was extremely arrogant, someone who was they just seemed like they didn't care if they hurt you. Their ego may have been a bit out of control. They may have also been someone who, this is coming through sort of strongly. So for some of you, I feel like this is the case. Plus it just started raining. Where they thought they knew everything already. You got to be wary of people like that, because none of us know everything already. You know, life is an ever-changing place. There's always something for us to learn. And that energy typically comes from an egoic place. The minute we stop trying to learn and trying to grow, or acknowledging that there is more to learn, we kind of do have a little bit of a death, you know? We can't grow. Where do you go from there? You know, you're already there according to you. And if you can't fathom that there's more out there, then you can't move beyond it, because nothing's going to motivate you to move beyond it. Maybe a tower, maybe spirit will come in and try something, but if you're really hell-bent on that energy, then you're in it, you know? But there's just this energy of, you know, it's almost just someone recognizing, I really did try, or I really wanted it to be different with you, or I really thought maybe even for a minute that it could be, but then when I realized that it was just overwhelming me, or when it got to that place where it was like too hard for me to handle, I bowed out. And for me, that was the kindest, most loving thing that I could do. And even if in 3D that's not what's being represented, it is like this message is coming from like a soul level, like their soul is saying this, you know, like it's kind of an apology. It really is. It's kind of like an I'm sorry, you know, like my human self really tried to do the best they could, and that was it. And that was what they were capable of. They gave you the best they had, and when they realized that it you know, they felt like they had reached their own limitation, there was this ending. And then at the end, you have this, you are a masterpiece. You were the best thing. You were the best things in my life. Yeah. And, you know, the sunflower is so symbolic in the tarot, right? We see it with like the Queen of Wands. We see it in the Sun card. It's an energy of happiness. It's an energy of something that is always facing the sun, joy. And you know, this is that ultimate apology where the person really ends by saying, it's not you, it's me. And it may not make it any easier to accept. It may not make it any better, any more comforting. But maybe if you sit with it, maybe if you, you know, really, really, really allow that truth to unfold, it does less damage on a deep, deep level, you know? I think in some ways this goes back to Brene Brown's question that she asked so many people. Do you think people are doing the best they can from where they're at? And sometimes when you are the recipient of suffering at someone else's hands because of their own unhealed wounds, because of their own projection, because of their own toxicity, it's really, really hard to go, yeah, I think that person was doing the best they could from where they're at. But when Brene Brown asked her husband, what do you think? After she had already decided that she did not agree with that. And so did I the first time I heard it. I thought, no. I've seen too much evil, too much yuck to really believe that about people. But the more I've sat with the question, the more I come around to her husband's perspective. And he said, yeah, I do. I believe that people are doing the best they can from where they're at. And she said, why? And he said, because it makes me feel better. And that's what really matters, right? And I feel like with this opening, this beginning, someone may have really let you down at some point, or this may have happened multiple times. And you may be going through a deep transformation of healing and a restoration of hope and optimism, and a real big change here that feels even connected to your subconscious, and really clearing out and transforming your thoughts and the way you're seeing things. And it does feel like it sort of hinges a little bit on that question of, do you think people are doing the best they can from where they're at? And if you do, one, forgiveness is much easier because you realize, like, okay, they're human, which by the very nature of it makes them imperfect. And, you know, I don't know how to say this in a way that doesn't come off sort of judgmental or critical, and that's definitely not what I'm trying to do right here, especially. But, you know, we all have those interactions with people that are lower vibrational, and where it's like someone is literally trying to make you feel bad so that they can feel better about themselves. And that is a really cruel thing to do, you know? You've got person A walking along, whistling Dixie, and they come across person B with the storm cloud over their head, and person B is like, you know what, I really hate your outfit, and you look like you've gained some weight. Are you okay? And really, person A is just the same as they ever were, or just whatever. But now that person has put in their mind, like, have I gained some weight? Am I okay? What would give them that impression? I should have said this. I should have responded like that. they were just whistling Dixie, walking along, you know? And they couldn't control that interaction. But that is sort of inherently, I think, one of the biggest parts of life, is learning how to cope with those things without letting them prevent you from whistling Dixie. You know, it's to just look at that person and go, wow, you're doing the best you can from where you're at. That sucks. I send you love. I send you compassion. I send you empathy. You know, I hope it helps. And you keep on going. Because honestly, it had nothing to do with person A, other than the fact that person A was enjoying their life and was happy, you know? I don't know, when I was telling you that story, I kept hearing bless your heart, which is something people say in the South. And people say that, like, really, like, from their heart. Like, bless your heart, you know? Like, you've been through such a hard time. Like, bless your heart, you know? And sometimes people are like, oh my gosh, they're coming from a really super judgmental place. And they're like, bless your heart. Like, how, you're so pathetic, you know, bless your heart. It must be so hard to be you. And they walk away laughing at you. You know, I don't know why that's coming across, but like, it doesn't feel good. You know how somebody means something when they say it. You know, you may not be like cognizant, like, oh yeah, they meant that way. But it makes you feel a type of way. And then you have to sort of reconcile that feeling. And it's hard. But that, once you can manage that, you're undefeatable. No one can mess with you. It's your world and everybody else is just living in it. And so how do you defeat that? You neutralize it. You don't resist it. You don't fight it. You don't get revenge. You don't take it on and process it and mull it over and let it become the Eight of Swords in your life. You neutralize it. You neutralize it. And you neutralize things a lot of times by saying, what if it was true? Okay, fine. You know what I mean? Something that I've realized a lot lately, especially like, you know, coming from a toxic family, and being a parent myself, my parents would point out my shortcomings, and like almost in an accusatory or critical manner. If I see something in my children, which like, I'm not looking for that, so I don't really see that, but sometimes you do as a parent go, oh, there's a blind spot right there. I don't come at my kids like, let me be critical of you and tell you what is wrong with you. I love them. I will tell them a story, or I will say something in a loving way of like, I don't know. I can't really think of an example right now, but like, you know, I don't know. I don't really have to do that very often, but you know, when you shut somebody down, when you criticize them, when you come at them from a real hurtful way, when your goal is to bring somebody down so that you can feel better, or, you know, to scapegoat somebody, or to, you know, I don't know, keep your own ego intact, right? Because that's pretty much what those people are doing. You're wounded. And that wounding came from somewhere. And chances are that wounding was not their fault either. And, you know, not that I think we should just be walking around letting all these wounded people in our life. I don't think so. I don't think so, not at all. I think that who you're surrounded by and who you let in your life is extremely important. And the more like high vibe people you have in your life, the more high vibe you're going to be. The more you're going to reach to even be a higher vibration. So I think it's pretty critical. It's better to not have people than it is to have people, I feel like, that are lower vibrational, that are bringing you down. I think, you know, finding it within yourself to like be your own best friend and to be your own cheerleader and to show up for yourself is a way, way, way better, more important thing than having people in your life for the sake of having people in your life. But I could be wrong. You know, I'm just a spiritual being having a human experience exactly like you. But I feel like there's something here where it's like, there's someone who I feel like, at least on a soul level, at least on a 5D level, they're feeling bad for the impression they may have left you about what you may or may not have meant to them. And I feel like they want you to know that you did make them happy and that it wasn't, the flaw in the thing was not with you. Even if they said that, whatever the case may be, the flaw was not for you, was not in you. And you're like person A, whistling Dixie. You know, that's what I keep kidding. Guys, like, you know, Pisces are free-spirited, and Pisces, like, I know I really don't need to tell you you're better off by yourself than you are surrounded by low-vibe people, just for the sake of having people. Pisces is one of those signs that I feel like really understands that more than most. Unfortunately, a lot of that reason is because you probably have been hurt by a lot of people, or you have had experiences where you've been person A whistling Dixie and come across a person B. But you can see in these cards, even with the roaming wild and the euphoria, that there is this energy of like, I'm just over here doing my own thing, being free-spirited, living my life, you know, exploring happiness where it is as it comes and appreciating it, being grateful for it. And, you know, we come across people who are trapped, who are empty and looking for something to fill them up, something to take that energy away from them, you know, something that to where they can be where you are, roaming wild, roaming free, and finding happiness. You know, they may be trapped in the society stereotype of, you know, make as much money as you can, be as successful as you can, and they may be making as much money, and they may be successful, and they may have all these things, but they may still be miserable. And they may look at you in a longing way as someone who, you know, doesn't subscribe to that social construct, who is able to find happiness without all the trappings and trimmings, and is able to be happy just for themselves. And that may be, you know, a reflection that is really difficult for them to take. Because, you know, it's like with this tattoo on this longing card, there's this energy of it never ends. It's always there. It's permanent. It's not something that ever goes away. And, you know, I feel like Pisces, for some of you, there are people who have rejected you or who have hurt you or who have, you know, cast you aside or treated you kind of badly, who really just couldn't handle, they couldn't rise up to meet the occasion, and they couldn't handle the reflection of their own sort of, it's coming across like failure or inability to find that same space in life. It does take a lot of courage to be a free spirit. It really does. So I think Pisces, there's just this energy of, honestly, because we started off talking about my Piscean friend, you know, who's having a hard time today, I sort of feel like this energy of, even there is someone from your past who, like, some of you may not even really believe that this person is capable of this, and maybe they're not in the 3D space, but in the 5D space, I do feel like there is someone who is, you know, I don't know, trying to make amends, or, you know, trying to let you know the truth of the matter, which was, I really believe that they're human and that they were doing the best that they could, and that maybe the best they could was really crappy, and that you were, you know, hurt, or you got some kind of suffering because they were not able to rise to meet the occasion and they abandoned the situation. And it feels kind of like, you know, this is that apology that they never made. They may even see you transforming, or this energy, this may just be coming to you in the form of energy or healing energy or of signs and synchronicities that, like, okay, the time is moving on. Yesterday, I kept seeing 1, 2, 3 and 1, 2, 2, 3, like signs of progress. I also saw 11, 11 a lot. I even saw 5 ones in a row. So there's almost like this energy here of like, sometimes we have to really close out a cycle and we have to accept the apology that we do not receive. But it does feel energetically, Pisces, as if there is almost this sense of apology, or, you know, it's like almost sort of a release, or like you can really let this go now kind of energy. You're moving on to something that is meant for you. You're moving on to a space that is full of hope and optimism and healing. And I feel like there is a reason why this ended, and it was to create a space for a new beginning. For some of you, it may be with this past person, but for others of you, this may just be with someone new. Let's dive into the tarot and see what's happening here. I definitely feel like the energy of apology in the ethers, you know, so if that resonates with you, you know, if intuitively you can almost feel that someone's thinking about you, or even there seems to be a burden that was really heavy that seems to be getting lighter, just focus on letting it go. Just focusing on opening up to receiving this apology from the ethers, and just letting go of this past burden that you've carried of like, why me, or, you know, like whatever it is, the burden of the questions, or just the fact that you can't come to a place of peace with it. Yeah, so yeah, wow, oh my gosh, this like tarot is just crazy profound. You have the Hierophant with the 7 of Pentacles, and you have the Page of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck. Y'all know, if you watch me, the Page of Pentacles really symbolizes that spiritual lesson, that gift that we get from going through, you know, hard things. I mean, we get them in a lot of different ways, but this feels like it's a hard fought victory. With the Hierophant, you know, this is the gatekeeper to spirit, you know, the spiritual realms. And this is, you know, something that, you know, with the 7 of Pentacles, and especially the 7 of Pentacles on the Star card, you know, it feels like something that was sort of meant to be, or something that it's like it was a seed that was planted. It could have even been like part of your destiny, or part of your fate, or part of your story on purpose. Because this may have even been a spiritual lesson that you wanted to learn in this life, you know, if you subscribe to that way of thinking. But it's opening up some higher level of spirituality to you with the Hierophant, the 7 of Pentacles, and the Page of Pentacles in the physical body, in the material world. And, you know, with the 7 of Pentacles here and the Hierophant, it is also saying to me very much, it's giving me this energy of kind of, in time, it will all make sense. In time, we will understand why life took the crazy tangled course it took. I hate to keep referencing these King Arthur books that I'm reading. I'm on the second one now. I think it's called Enemy of God. And I don't want to ruin it for you guys if you want to read it. And I feel like that would ruin it. Wow. Wow, wow, and wow. I gotta put my glasses on. Wow. You have the Ace of Cups coming out sideways. So this is something that's changing, that's happening, that's turning right now. And that feels like accepting this apology from the ethers. This feels like self-love. This feels like accepting an offer here. And this, the reason it feels like this is really coming through is almost to restore your confidence to love, your confidence to trust, your confidence to receive a new beginning in love. After, I feel like being kind of really hurt. I feel like an earth-shaking kind of hurt here. And on the bottom of the deck, you have the Nine of Wands. And on this particular card, it even says great strength. So you have the Strength card, and then you have great strength. And you have this Ace of Cups coming out sideways, clarifying that Hierophant. This great strength card on the bottom of the deck, the Nine of Wands, it's the wounded warrior. It's the person who has been through a lot, you know, has had a lot of experiences that have really burdened this person. They have not necessarily been kind. It's like really hoping life goes one way and then it goes another, and having that experience multiple times. And you know, that's actually pretty par for the course for a human experience. Very rarely does life unfold exactly the way that we hope it does. And you know, I don't know if you guys saw that lady who recently passed away from cancer with 2 young kids. I mean, isn't that just all of our nightmares? And a husband that she deeply loved. And you know, she left like a TikTok or an Instagram or something. I saw it on YouTube. And it was like, the one thing you know for sure is that the one thing that is certain in life is its uncertainty. And that's sort of this energy. But with the Nine of Wands, there is this energy of still never giving up, of still persevering, of still fighting, of still saying, yeah, I know what I desire. I still desire this. Even after all of these, you know, missed opportunities, or, you know, moments where I suffered or where I struggled, I'm still holding on to this energy. Like, I still want to love. I still desire to love and be loved. Or I still desire, you know, a soulmate relationship. I'm still, I haven't given up on the hope or the idea that love is still possible in this life. With a Page and an Ace coming out here kind of together, this is definitely a harbinger of a new chapter here, Pisces, that is coming in for you. Whether it is with a past person or whether it is with a new person, it keeps drawing me into any sign of a new beginning. That sun coming up in the horizon of the Death card, this Page and this Ace, it's like, remember, every ending is nothing but a new beginning. Every ending, that no matter what it is that you think of or that you think about, it is, you know, every ending is a new beginning. Yours is on its way. I don't think you see it yet with this Moon card. But yours is on its way. It's a new era. It's a new day. It's a new... And it may not be exactly what you think it's going to be. Let's see. What is this new beginning, please, Spirit? What is the new beginning for Pisces? What can you tell us? Wow. 6 of Wands. Oh my gosh. Okay. So you guys have the 2 of Swords, and then you have the 10 of Swords in reverse, and the Knight of Cups. So, and then you have the 6 of Wands on the bottom of the deck. Pisces, I feel like for some of you, there is someone who's kind of their thought process or their way of thinking. This doesn't have to be the past person. This could be someone that you know. This could be someone who wants to get to know you, who hasn't approached you at all. This could be someone who hasn't had the courage to like really come in with some kind of offer of love. This could be a past person, but what I see here is this is someone who is also closing out a cycle in their life. So for some of you, they could have had some type of choice of which path to pursue, between you and someone else, or you and a career, or you and, you know, whatever, with the Two of Swords. And it's kind of like, it's almost that energy of like, I really don't want to make this decision, or I don't want to have to choose between these two things, or I'm not ready to, or I kind of don't even want to acknowledge or admit that there is a choice pending here, or that I would have to make this choice. You know, it is an energy again of a little bit of an avoidance. With the Ten of Swords in reverse, there's this energy of something really difficult is trying to close out, because it's the swords versus like the wands, having seen the Nine of Wands and having the Six of Wands here, having it be the swords, it's kind of telling me that someone is letting go of some kind of detrimental thought cycle where they were really allowing their thoughts to keep them from taking action. We see that energy covered with the Knight of Cups, which is somebody taking action on their heart. And so, especially in juxtaposition with the Ten of Swords, it's also someone who's saying, I'm going to choose what my heart wants over what my head is telling me. You know, maybe their head is telling them it's not possible, or, you know, it just wouldn't work, or, you know, I can't make this choice, or if I made this choice, it would mean this or that or whatever. The Knight of Cups coming out so strongly here, and especially with the Six of Wands on the bottom of the deck, is sort of saying that, you know, I'm not thinking about this anymore, because thinking keeps me stuck. Thinking keeps me in a space where I'm not moving, I'm not going anywhere. And really, we're not cut out for that as humans. You know, yeah, do some people choose that route? They sure do. Do some people stay in their comfort zone? Yeah, they sure do. But we're not really built for that. That's not really our purpose. That's not really like our innate nature, you know? And so with this Knight of Cups energy and the Six of Wands energy, it's kind of like desire and, you know, my heart are what is winning. They're what are pulling me out, pulling me towards this new situation. And it feels like it feels triumphant, but it also feels like I had to work hard to sort of turn this mental space off. I had to, it took a lot for me to come to this. For some of you, I'm even getting like a long time, a period of time that is a long time. But it's like the Six of Wands is like the cavalry kind of showing up at the last minute to help you win the battle kind of thing. And with the Knight of Cups, it is like, I don't know how to say this except to say it's not someone that takes it lightly. You know, it's not someone who's just, oh yeah, hey, you know, this is someone who really believes that their heart is leading them into this action, you know, and you know, when we follow our heart, that is a risk, that is a vulnerability. And in order to like do that, we have to kind of be brave. We have to have courage. And we're not going to risk it. We're not going to put ourselves on the line like that. We're not going to force ourselves to find courage and bravery within ourselves if it doesn't super duper matter to us. So this isn't someone who's like a flash in the pan or whatever. This person has had to work to get to this place. They had to sort of have a goal, and it may be you, and it may be that you are the light at the end of the tunnel for this person. And it could be, you know, a past person, but it could also be a new person, and it could also be someone that you know, but just, it's like you may even feel sort of a physical tension or chemistry between you and them, but it's like you just haven't, they haven't really come through on it, or yeah, This is interesting. I'm going to take one on this because I just got, I just also got this feeling of someone of trying to sort of fight their own feelings or try to tell themselves, I can't have these feelings. Yup. There it is. Yeah. Yeah. Look at that. That just confirms everything that I just said. This is someone, see, you have the Lovers, which is a choice. You have the Devil here, which, you know, is the thing that's trying to hold you back. And you have Temperance here. And it's kind of like, this took a while. This took a lot of effort to kind of say, all right, the ultimate choice that I want to make is this. And in order to do that, I have to release myself from the things that are holding me back, which for this person was their thoughts. And, you know, with the Three of Wands, this is someone, I feel like they may have thought about this for a long time. The Three of Wands, this could be someone who's at a distance but has seen you or is aware of you or is interested in you. This can also be someone who felt they had to sort of hold themselves back. Maybe they weren't free to come forward. Maybe part of that choice was they had to cut themselves free of a toxic relationship or a toxic connection. And even possibly a toxic partner whose words were very critical and kept them from being able to find the confidence to come forward. They had to heal from that in order to be able to step up to make this choice, to be brave, to follow their heart, to kind of risk it all for this. I cannot believe that just came out. We're not messing around here anymore, Pisces. Somebody is getting the courage to come forward. With the Six of Pentacles, and you may not, this may take you by complete shock and surprise. Honestly, you may not have in any way thought that this person liked you or was even thinking about you like that. And for some of you, this may be a past person who you just absolutely had written off. This person, they see you as a divine partner, and you may be divine partners, you may be soulmates. You have the Six of Pentacles coming out with the King of Cups and the Queen of Cups with the Emperor on the bottom of the deck. You have two sixes here. This is someone who had to become a vibrational match for you. They weren't when you met them. Or this is something where this person hasn't crossed your path yet. They were not a vibrational match for you. They're getting there. They're coming into that energy to cross your path. Or this is a past person who could not give to the situation. That's why they felt like the choice wasn't theirs, because they got overwhelmed. They did try, but then they got overwhelmed. And so it took them to this place of the Two of Swords, of where it's just like, oh, I can't do this, I can't do this, I can't do this. And their thoughts kept them from, you know, being available to see it, to feel it, to show up for it. And then they have gone through this process with the Devil, Temperance, and the Lovers to remove this way of thinking that was holding them back and keeping them stuck and stagnant, so that they could follow their heart and come forward. And yeah, they're definitely doing this. I mean, this person definitely, I feel like they see you as a soulmate, or I feel like they see you as someone who can give them what they need and what they want. I keep getting this feeling of like, you either know or you don't know, but like both things could be true, that this person feels this way about you or is even thinking this way about you. Again, I keep coming back to this, like, sometimes you don't realize how much you mean to someone else or how they see you or what they're thinking about you until it's revealed. Six of Wands. King of Swords, Two of Cups, the Star card. Yeah, Pisces, I feel like this person's coming in to tell you with this King of Swords. Okay. I keep getting this feeling where this may be somebody's struggle within themselves, okay, too. They may be someone who is trying to break a larger cycle for themselves in their life. Sometimes with the King of Swords, they're trying to change something within their life. They're trying to, you know, like for example, I just saw the King of Cups and the Queen of Cups here. So this may be someone who is actually very sensitive and very emotional. But when they've led with that before, it may, you know, and we saw the Knight of Cups, them leading with their heart. They may have like a past history or some kind of issue where, you know, they've led with their heart in the past and they've gotten really hurt. And, or, you know, even as a kid, maybe they were very sensitive and they had emotionally neglectful parents. And, you know, I mean, there's a lot in that, you know, could be unpacked, and that can come from very different sources. When you're doing a general reading, it's hard to really say it's like this or it's like that. But with the King of Swords, this is someone who they may sort of even approach with a more like, not, you see them coming up in the Knight of Cups. So there is an emotional, their motivation for moving or for coming towards you is actually emotion. But when you see the King of Swords on the bottom, they may be coming through saying, you know, it's just practical or it's just wise, or they may be really trying to talk to you a lot, or you may realize that someone is trying to communicate with you more, but they're not, like, you don't really necessarily know why. It may not be super flirtatious. It may not be super like loving, or, you know, it may not feel like someone's coming towards you with their heart on their sleeve. But I think that's really what's behind it. I feel like the King of Swords is sort of, it does feel a little bit like a protection, or it feels a little bit like a, you know, if I say this is for practical reasons, or I, you know, I come through and I have something strong to say, to communicate, especially if this is like a past person that's hurt you. They may feel like, okay, if I explain logically and analytically that I understand what I did and the role that it played and the impact that it had, then, you know, maybe I can sort of avoid like a super emotional conversation. Or if this is someone who's been really sensitive and has been taken advantage of in past relationships because they're sensitive and they don't want to do that, it may actually be coming from a space of someone who realizes that their kind of sensitivity has sort of created imbalances in relationships in the past, with that Six of Wands and that Six of Pentacles. Kind of this energy of, it may have caused them to overgive or to feel too much too fast in their own mind with all those swords. And so they may be trying to take a different approach. But with the Two of Wands clarifying this in reverse, they have made up their mind. They know, and they feel that this relationship or this connection is in alignment with them, and it's like they've already decided. They already, you know, the only thing left to do is to communicate. And on the bottom of the deck, you have the Nine of Swords, which is this energy of fear. So if they come across a little bit standoffish, or if they come across very logically and analytically and almost like void of emotion, there's a reason for it. It's something that they're doing on purpose. But you see here the Two of Cups. So let's clarify that. They may feel like it's in the highest and best of the relationship, of the connection. Like they don't want to risk upsetting the balance, or they don't want to risk, you know, putting their heart out there and then being taken advantage of again. Like, yes, they're coming out of stagnancy. That is for sure. Yeah, because here's the Great Strength card again. They haven't given up on this, or either they haven't given up on this and it's a past person, or they haven't given up on love, but they've been hurt before. So whatever you're seeing is a result of that kind of energy, right? But the fact is, you have 3 twos now showing up in this space, lots of 6s and lots of 2s in this reading. There's kind of this energy of the choice is made. It's like I keep getting kind of like the die is cast. Like I'm going down this path. Like I've decided. It's a very, you know, it's not like this person is still trying to decide or they're wondering. It's like, no, I'm doing this. And they had to break through a certain kind of stagnancy in order to come through. Like the hardest part was making the decision. Now that they've made the decision with the King of Swords energy behind this, it's sure, it's happening. You know, it's I'm going to communicate this. I'm going to reach out. With the Star card on the bottom of the deck, this is divine timing, and this is something that is meant to be, and it is possibly for you a wish fulfilled. You know, something that you have actually wanted, that you have actually been waiting for. We kind of went all over the place with this reading. I hope that it, you know, made sense and brought you some peace and some clarity. I trust you guys to just, you know, take what you can get from it that helps. And I just try to put out the messages that I get and see and feel and hope it helps. All right. If you're dealing with a water sign, you're getting, does this situation align with your values and morals? You're getting, this connection is passionate but not enduring. You're getting, forgiving yourself or another will help you move forward. I don't know why this happened, and this relationship can stand the test of time. If you are dealing with a fire sign, whoa, my gosh, you're getting twin flame. This is a divine counterpart connection. Detach with love to see clearly the truth. I see life differently now. I wish I could share my good news with you. And second chance. This relationship deserves a second chance. All right. If you're dealing with an earth sign, I hid who I really am from you. Someone in this connection is gripped by obsessive thoughts. This love is emotional and physical and unconditional. An addiction is affecting this relationship, possibly like codependency, toxic, you know, connective energy there. And I trusted you. They may struggle to trust people, and that may have been a kind of a big deal. All right. If you're dealing with an air sign, I feel the sexual tension. I can't do this. I wonder how you feel, and a new love or recommitment to love is developing. You guys, I feel very strongly you have something new coming in. Like I said, I was really guided toward any symbology of new in your reading, and as new, and even the ending as it really symbolizing a new beginning, so much more than an ending. So take what resonates and leave the rest, and hopefully you guys, this helped. And I'm going to do one of those other kinds of readings this week because you guys all left comments. And I'm really excited about it. I really did enjoy it. And, you know, it may be like something we do even more often than that. But anyway, this is what I have for you today. And I truly hope it helps. And that was my intention. Until next time, I send you off with all my very best. Always, always, always.